The fuck is up? This is try 2. I've decided I'm gonna make a YouTube video. Fucking Christ, I'm out of breath. Took a ripski off the Glenski. I'm gonna try to keep this attempt shorter. That's the goal. Keep it shorter. This is just gonna be ultimate fuck shittery. But basically, this is my Speed Champions R34 modified mock. Modified is an understatement, I'd say, because not very much is shared from the original R34 set. I mean, when I say not a lot, it doesn't even use the Speed Champions chassis anymore. The main thing is the rear bumper. I kept the rear bumper mostly untouched. I mean, structural wise, I went through it and redid it to get it to like work with the diffuser and shit. But other than that, it looks the same with the lack of the Toyo tires sticker, clear taillights, and no wing. Other than that, it's their design. But and then like everything else is gone through. It has an opening hood with an RB26 quotation fingers, and a turbo. Try to get a little fucking intake manifold there. I put a little white like turbo funnel type thing. I had to modify a turntable 2x2 to get the hood to close the way I wanted it to. On the interior, I redid the whole interior because I didn't like the original one. Obviously took out the NOS tanks. Instead put one singular white one back there. Simplified it. I used the little 1x1 tile from the Elva set. I was going to use the Elva seats to get a bucket seat, like a white bucket seat instead of the blue bucket seats that came in this set, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I just went with white 2x2 slope tiles. I also used this little 1x1 cheese slope from the Supra. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's there, so we're going to run with that for now. I also eliminated the rear, like the actual rear windshield, and did my own thing because I thought the roof line looked like shit. I wanted to eliminate as many stickers as possible, except for like shit like this I'm okay with. Same with like the license plate, that's tight because no matter what I was going to put a sticker license plate on there. And then same with like the turn signals in the front. I kept all those because those aren't like crazy ugly stickers like the ones on the 1x3 sloped bricks that they used. And then I couldn't use the 4 wide Speed Champions windshield because that wouldn't work. Like the fucking, it'd be sticking into the interior with the way I shortened the wheelbase. So I had to come up with my own thing. I really worked hard to recreate the roof line of an R34 as much as possible. I mean, it's obviously not perfect, but for some jackass 18-year-old in their mom's basement, it's pretty damn good. I'd say I got the shape down pretty good. The little rear quarter window, I'd say looks pretty good. I went through many iterations of this rear window design, specifically the C-pillars. At first, I way overcomplicated it, and now I've simplified it to this point. I also added this little roof lip, which I think looks fucking spicy as fuck. And it looks a little better without these 1x3 bars, but I think they really add to the roll cage aesthetic with them in there. So it just has like a little bit of a gap right here, which isn't that big of a deal. And then it makes everything like fit weird in here. As you can see that gap right there. You can start to see how I did it. I just because for the hood I used a double hinge technique, specifically like pretty inspired by, I mean, it is a bricks, blocks, and mocks technique that he like fucking what is it, not praise, that he uses religiously for like all of his doors and shit. But I adjusted that a little bit so it still is a double hinge technique to get the rear hatch positioned perfectly. As you can see, it goes like this. Like, obviously, hinges like this, but then there's also more hinges back there. Doesn't have a lot of clearance, though. But I put a rear cage in it. I also put what I'm calling a subwoofer, and then two smaller little, like, probably 8-inch speakers back there for the ultimate audio experience. But, yeah, and then you can see the NOS tank from back here, too. You can see how I did the rear hatch. I just used inverted 1x2 sloped tiles, offset by half a stud, and then these little these 1x2 plates with rails to fill up this gap right here. And then other than that, it's pretty simple. But it is like, it only works very specifically because you can't just like push it forward at this point because of the 1x3 bar, or the 3 long bars I put in. So you have to like pick it up a little bit and then drop it down and push it forward. And it kind of annoys me because it doesn't work out perfectly, but oh well. But yeah, I also redid the front end. Got rid of that giant ass center center grill that they had. Still using that stickered piece right there. Still using the 1x3 plate that was provided in the set. And tiled, like, upside down front splitter that's a half a stud offset, which I don't know how I feel about it. It's there. It's whatever. I used a stance technique from this TikToker I follow on my TikTok account, on my Lego TikTok account, which if you're watching this, you should go follow. It's it's my TikTok account is ODSY Lego ODSY _ Lego. But the TikToker who gave me the method for the stance, it's like 22 period 222 period 2222. I think that's his TikTok name or some shit. But I also modified some Speed Champions wheels. So I cut off the little supports in between each spoke, and then I spray painted them white. Because I couldn't find 4 white ones in my massive abyss of Lego bins. So instead I just spray painted white, which I'm honestly happier with the spray painted white. Because I don't know, I feel like they look a little more detailed. And then they also have a matte finish rather than a gloss finish, which I fucks with. There's this little gap right here in the front bumper, which I am not at all a fan of. I fucking hate it. But I have not been able to find any solution to that yet due to the way I've done things up front. So it's not that big of a deal. Technically, you could say it is inspired by an r34 because r34 Z-Tune bumpers have a little vent. It's lower, but they have a vent on the side. So in this case, I just lifted it up, you know? That's just what I did. Shit, bro, we're creeping on 10 minutes. I added a hella aggressive rear diffuser because why not? With a big ass exhaust pipe that I mounted at an angle by just offsetting it by half a stud using a 1x1 tile with bar, and then just a little clip going into the back of the exhaust. And yeah, that's it for the rear end. I did like a full aero kit on it, so I put black tiles on the bottom of the doors. I redid the side profile, and it's a very slight detail, but the car does have like a very slight hourglass shape. So you can see, look back here, and you can't see too much of these plates under there, but then the further you go forward, the more of the plates you can see. And so it has a slight angle in, which I wasn't even intending for when I was building this, but it worked out fucking perfectly, and so we're running with it. And it also allows for there to be no gap up here. Like, this is flush, this is flush. I gave it some nice big hips. I'm a man, I like hips. And yeah, so yeah, we'll call it there. This is my, as I introduced, fuck, dude, I'm just going in circles, man. I'm tired. It's like 2 in the morning right now, but yeah, so thank you guys for watching. If you would like to see a tutorial, let me know in the comments, but I'm gonna warn you, this is not at all like, this won't be like some modifications. This is like a full mock. So if I give you a tutorial, be prepared for this to be a full mock. But yeah, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to get a post like once every 5 years. But please like the video if you're seeing this. But yeah, thanks for watching. Adios, amigos.